South African opposition leader Julius Malema, whose video I will play after this commentary, has warned that pretentious elections in Zimbabwe will not work, as he called for a free and fair vote on August 23. The leader of the economic freedom fighters, speaking on Saturday, urged Zimbabweans to reclaim their country from President Mnangagwa kleptocracy. They must never despair. They must continue to fight for their country and reclaim it from kleptocracy and the criminality that has hijacked Zimbabwe, Malema told the SABC during celebrations of his party's 10th anniversary. We want the Zimbabweans to fight to take over their own country back. We want the international community to lift the sanctions and let's get Zimbabwe to work again. Even as he called on Western countries to lift sanctions, Malema warned that a disputed election would prolong Zimbabwe's international isolation. Opposition parties complained that police are preventing their rallies and violence has been reported in the rural areas. This thing of pretentious elections is not going to work. It's not going to deliver the much needed confidence that Zimbabweans need now from the international community to go back and reinvest there and lift the sanction. Zimbabweans must never despair. They must continue to fight, and one day they shall know real peace and freedom. The EFF marked its 10th anniversary at a packed FNB Stadium in Johannesburg. I must say, ladies and gentlemen, almost everyone has seen the pictures of how organized the Julius Malema party was. Of course, a lot of people attribute it to the fact that the opposition in South Africa is not much in a much tight space like what happens back here home in Zimbabwe, where we know it's always a cat and mice affair between the opposition and the ruling party. But in South Africa, things are a bit better. Also, it's being aided by the fact that it is a functional economy. So people really try and compare Chamisa's party to Malema's party, and they ignore the fact of what the opposition in Zimbabwe has gone through over the years, coupled by the fact that the economy in itself is not so functional.
Your message to ordinary Zimbabweans, the voters?
They must never despair. They must continue to fight for their country and reclaim it from kleptocracy and the criminality that has hijacked Zimbabwe. We want the Zimbabweans to fight to take over their own country back. We want the international community to lift the sanctions and let's get Zimbabwe to work again. These people who are saying they are Zimbabweans all over are the ones who should be marching in solidarity with the people of Zimbabwe and demanding free and fair elections in Zimbabwe. This thing of pretentious elections is not going to work. It's not going to deliver confidence, the much needed confidence that Zimbabweans need now from the international community to go back and reinvest then to lift the sanctions. The Zimbabweans must never despair. They must continue to fight and fight for their country. One day they shall know the real peace and freedom.